Welcome, curious minds. Today we're embarking on a deep dive into the fascinating world of leather craftsmanship. It's this really interesting blend of timeless tradition and quite smart modern business. We've got some great sources
Yeah.
looking at a company in Galway, Ireland, and also digging into some, ancient tanning techniques. Our mission for you, our listener, is really to unpack what makes a high-quality leather product special, and maybe why some things are, well, absolutely worth waiting for. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll be tracing that journey, from the rawhide right through to the finished piece and looking at those very deliberate choices, the things that really shape its character, its feel, and its value.
Okay, so let's start with mishnóc. They're a company trading in Galway City, Ireland, since 2011. Their whole thing seems to be pretty straightforward. Well-made leather goods, excellent value. What I find fascinating is how they mix things up. They launched their website back in 2014, so they fully embraced online. But they've also really committed to their physical bricks and mortar store right there on the high street.
Mm-hmm. And that's a really interesting point, isn't it? Why keep that expensive physical store going when, online is probably booming? Well, their commitment, it seems, is about building trust. It's about giving customers confidence, especially when they're buying online. With something like leather, you want to touch it, right? Smell it, maybe. That physical store offers that sensory experience, that reassurance.
Okay, that makes sense.
With
So it's not just tradition, it's actually part of their online strategy too.
Exactly. It anchors the brand in the real world. It says, we're here, we stand by our products. That confidence translates online. It's a smart blend.
Right. So this dedication to quality, it must influence the materials they choose too.
Oh, definitely.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. One of their popular items, the Jeans 24 belt, our sources say it's made from vegetable tanned bull hide. Okay, so break that down for us. What's the big deal with vegetable tanning and why bull hide specifically?
Good questions. So, bullhide, first off, it's known for being incredibly tough, thick, really durable, perfect for something like a belt that takes a lot of wear. Now, vegetable tanning, this is where the tradition really comes in. It's an ancient method. Unlike, say, modern chemical tanning, which can be super quick, like maybe ready the next day.
Wow, that fast.
Yeah, very fast. But vegetable tanning uses natural tannins, stuff found in tree bark, leaves, that sort of thing. And it's slow, really slow. It can take up to 2 weeks, sometimes
It's
longer.
2 weeks compared to a day.
Exactly. And that slowness, that extended time, is actually key. It allows those natural tannins to really bind with the hide's fibers, making the leather incredibly strong, but also supple. And it develops this amazing patina over time. It ages beautifully. It's a completely natural process, thousands of years old.
That deliberate slowness sounds almost, well, countercultural today.
hmm
And where does the best leaf come from? Our sources mention Italy quite a bit.
That's right. Italy, particularly Tuscany, is really highlighted as one of the few places left with the deep traditional skills needed for the finest vegetable tanned leathers. They've kept that artisanal knowledge alive for generations.
Okay, so Italy is the place. What makes their approach stand out? We read about an artisanal tannery, I think northern Italy, creating a smoked effect, hand-finished bull hide. Sounds amazing.
Hmm.
But wait, things like a smoked effect or, little marks from tools, wouldn't those usually be seen as flaws? Especially in luxury items.
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of what makes these pieces special. Yes, that smoked effect is unique. It's achieved by hand, often using natural pigments, giving this really subtle depth and variation. And you're right, in mass production, uniformity is king. Any variation is often rejected. But here, those subtle variations in color, in texture, even slight marks from the hand tooling, they aren't flaws at all. They're actually proof of the handmade process, the natural material. It's authenticity. It tells the story of that specific piece of leather.
Right, so it's like a fingerprint for the product, not a mistake.
Precisely. It celebrates the material and the craft rather than trying to hide it behind some kind of artificial perfection.
So looking back at what we've unpacked, we've seen how businesses like mishnóc are cleverly bridging that gap between traditional craft and modern selling. And we've learned how these really old, frankly time-consuming methods like vegetable tanning, especially from places like Italy, produce leather that isn't just tough, but it's full of character, full of story.
It really does underline that idea that sometimes the value isn't just about what the thing does. It's
Right.
deeply tied to how it was made, the history in it, the careful choices, even the natural imperfections that make it unique. It becomes more than just an object. It's something with a journey.
So maybe the next time you pick up a handcrafted item, perhaps it's a leather belt with that rich, unique feel, or maybe something else entirely. Just take a moment. Consider the deep history, the meticulous work, the dedication that might be woven into it. What will you maybe look for differently now, knowing the story that might be hiding just beneath the surface?